Hello again, 122. In this video, we will conclude the political evolution of Europe since the end of World War II by looking at what happened to the former Yugoslavia, and we'll see what the political and economic makeup of Europe is today, and what happened in Eastern Europe after communism. In 1989 and 1990, new governments throughout Eastern Europe worked diligently to scrap the old system and introduce democratic procedures and market systems they believed would revitalize their scarred lands. But this process proved to be neither simple nor easy. Nevertheless, by 2000, many of these states, especially Poland and the Czech Republic, were making a successful transition to free markets and democracy. And in 1997, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Hungary joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, much to the chagrin of Vladimir Putin and the Russians. In some states, the shift to non-communist rule was complicated by old problems, and we've talked about this, the ethnic issues that have dominated the history of Eastern Europe. Although Czechs and Slovaks agreed to a peaceful division of Czechoslovakia into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, the situation was quite different in Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia disintegrated. From its inception, from the creation in 1919, Yugoslavia had been an artificial entity. Strong leaders, especially the dictatorial Marshal Tito after World War II, had managed to hold together the 6 disparate republics and 2 autonomous provinces that made up the country. After Tito's death in 1980, no strong leader emerged, and eventually Yugoslavia was caught up in the reform movement sweeping through Eastern Europe. After negotiations among the 6 republics failed, Slovenia and Croatia declared their independence in June 1991. This action was opposed by Slobodan Milosevic, the leader of Serbia, who insisted that the republics adjust their borders to accommodate their Serb minorities who did not want to live outside the boundaries of Serbia. Serbian forces attacked both new states and, although unsuccessful against Slovenia, captured 1/3 of Croatia's territory. International recognition of independent Slovenia and Croatia in 1992 and of Macedonia and Bosnia and Herzegovina soon thereafter did not deter the Serbs, who now turned on Bosnia. And by 1993, Serbian forces had acquired 70% of Bosnian territory, and the Serbian policy of ethnic cleansing, killing or forcibly removing Bosnian Muslims from their lands, revived memories of Nazi atrocities in World War II. In the town of Srebrenica, almost 8,000 men and boys were killed in a Serbian massacre. And this account by a Muslim survivor from the town is eerily reminiscent of the activities of the Nazi Einsatzgruppen, the SS. When the truck stopped, they told us to get off in groups of 5. We immediately heard shooting next to the trucks. About 10 Serbs with automatic rifles told us to lie down on the ground face first. As we were getting down, they started to shoot, and I fell into a pile of corpses. I felt hot liquid running down my face. I realized I was only grazed. As they continued to shoot more groups, I kept on squeezing myself in between dead bodies. He played dead. And that's from W.I. Hitchcock, The Struggle for Europe, The Turbulent History of a Divided Continent, from 1945 through 2002, New York Press, 2003, pages 399 through 400. As the fighting spread, European nations and the United States began to intervene to stop the bloodshed, and in 1995 a fragile ceasefire agreement was reached. An international peacekeeping force was stationed in the area to prevent further hostilities. Peace in Bosnia, however, did not bring peace to Yugoslavia. A new war erupted in 1999 over Kosovo, an autonomous province within the Serbian Republic. Kosovo's inhabitants were mainly ethnic Albanians, but the province was also home to a Serbian minority. In 1994, groups of ethnic Albanians had founded the Kosovo Liberation Army and began a campaign against Serbian rule in Kosovo. When Serb forces began to massacre ethnic Albanians in an effort to crush the KLA, the United States and its NATO allies mounted a bombing campaign. They launched cruise missiles against the Serbs, and that forced Milosevic to stop. And in the elections of 2000, Milosevic himself was ousted from power, and he was later put on trial by an international tribunal for war crimes against humanity for his ethnic cleansing policies. But he died in prison in 2006 before his trial could be completed. And there's a scene from August of 1992 after a mortar attack. This was a bloody place to be in the 1990s, ladies and gentlemen. Peacekeeping forces still remain in Bosnia and Kosovo to maintain the uneasy peace. In 2004, Yugoslavia itself ceased to exist when the new national government officially renamed the truncated country Serbia and Montenegro. 2 years later, Montenegrins voted in favor of independence. Thus, by 2006, all 6 republics cobbled together to form Yugoslavia in 1918 were once again independent nations. And in 2008, Kosovo unilaterally proclaimed, some accounts say 2007, that they were independent from Serbia. And it was recognized by most other nations as the 7th sovereign state to emerge from the former Yugoslavia. And there's a nice map from NATO.net/history/Kosovo. And this is Kosovo. And here is Slovenia at the top, Croatia, and Bosnia, Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania, and Macedonia. This is Europe today. As of 2007, it began this common market in 1957, or the European Coal and Steel Coalition was the actual beginning. And the Union of European States, they were trying to integrate their economies. And by 2002, they had achieved 2 major goals: the creation of a single internal market using the euro. And they've had some problems in this decade. A few years ago, with Greece and Italy and Spain have had some serious debt problems. And as long as Germany, the economic powerhouse of the continent, as long as Germany keeps the European Union going, I personally, it's just my opinion, I think it'll survive. Great Britain, as we mentioned, is going to pull out. Brexit is the exit strategy. And Norway could grow into this European Union because Sweden and Finland joined in 1995, and Turkey seeks entry into the European Union, but many of the Catholic countries have opposed the Muslim Turkey country entering into the European Union. That's unfortunate. And parts of Ukraine support entry. The eastern part, closer you get to Russia, does not. And Belarus has close ties with Russia as well, and probably will not join the European Union. And that concludes Europe since World War II.